Oh my god, hello, and welcome to episode 28 of Tales of Edeah. That only took me like an extra, 4 minutes. I thought it'd be more to reset two of the webcam captures, so that was fun. But anyway, welcome. Hi, Simon. Always nice to see you. We appreciate you very much. We are all back this week, and Milosh, we're very happy that you're feeling better, by the way, just to say it officially. I have been
Thank you.
harassing you with questions, but very happy to have you back, and we'll dive right in.
I'm just kind of happy putting it out there.
Shh, you get out of here. No, shush. Um, Tower of Danos, day unknown, month unknown. No, that's not right. Let me fix that. Oberon's Tower, April 7th, year 51 of the new era. 21 days. For 21 days, the Ashen Hearts have wandered this forsaken island, trapped in the magic and the mists that had cost the lives of many an adventurer or seafarer alike. The awareness of this knowledge of time blossoms in their minds as the clockmaker, the odd, godlike entity that seems to have influenced so much of their lives this year, stands before them suddenly. She has joined you within the confines of the Wizard's Tower, that now belongs to the resurrected elven sage named Oberon. The sensation of time righting itself brings back flashes of memory from the past few weeks. Wave after wave of delayed exhaustion rolls over you and threatens to knock you off your feet, only for them to harmlessly pass by and leave no trace on you at all. You recall your arrival on the island, Feleg, the ship captain who brought you here, and Svala, the dwarf who you found. You recall the trek through the forest, which was so much longer than you realized. You wandered for a long time before you found your way to the lady's house. You can even see yourselves resting in the house, and then something else. Several of the creatures from the tower that were locked up in the cellar beneath the house, scratching at a magical barrier that prevented them from coming out. You see yourself then arriving at the tower and struggling for what seems like days to find a way to enter. And you see Turnok's departure, and you guess that he may still wander the island even now. The rest flashes by more quickly, as if time was more compressed. The hours you spent in the prison, the time you spent fighting the tower's defenses, and even the time you spent chasing down Patrick and resurrecting Oberon into Danos' clone body. Your eyes open, and now it all falls into place. Here you are, the Ashen Hearts together, tired after days without rest, standing in the presence of one of the oldest wizards now in the world, and in the presence of a godlike being, who looks at you through thin spectacles set upon her freckled and, honestly, rather unremarkable face. She waited for everyone to come in, but now that you are gathered here, she looks at you and she says, "Good, you're here. You've done good work so far, but this is where it gets tricky. I assume you know who I am, and I understand it's a surprise. Take a little time, ask me whatever you want, but understand that we'll soon have to get down to business about what we have to do next." And she looks expectantly at the group to see if there are any things that you wish to bring to the fore, or to do to her in some cases that were suggested last week.
I'll be right back. I need 1 minute. Very important.
Okay. He's overexcited, I think. So,
Um, w- why are you? How are you? Are you the same person that I think you are?
yes.
That's it. I've gone insane.
No,
What?
not yet. You might, but not yet.
That'd make it all easier. Um, Why are you here?
Because you finally are doing something that's important enough. And it needs to be done right. Also, I'm not really here. I'm more of a shadow on the wall.
Okay. Okay.
Is that all?
Shadow
Can
on the
we
wall.
move on?
No. We cannot move on.
You can see she already seems impatient, but she does not push you to continue.
Why? No. No? I don't think I have any proper questions until I think. And I'll turn to Oberon. Is the tower safe at least for now? Where we are here?
I have managed to stabilize the tower and the defenses, which is why everything is unfolding as it is currently. But understand that you do not have much time to arrange your business here.
Mm-hmm. So you're the, and I turn back to her. You're the tick-tock.
It's not my usual name, but sure.
Okay. And I'll just sit down.
I'll say Myra's just like as far away as possible, but in the room, staring between the clockmaker and JJ. But when Barnak makes that joke, she actually smiles a little bit.
When you smile, like, she's kind of just looking around the room. She does catch your eye, maybe a moment later, or a few moments later. And there's an almost inscrutable look on her face. But if you like, you can attempt, but only you, Chance, you can attempt an insight check.
Ooh, that's really good. Did I load up my character sheet? I did. Insight. 27.
Okay, I will write it to you. One word of the emotion that she's feeling. Oops, I forgot to send this.
Myra go back to scowling about this.
Do you understand why I don't do this much? Don't really enjoy these blank stares. If you have something to ask me, ask it. If you need to converse amongst yourselves, do it. But you will need to get to resting soon, which means we need to get to talking even sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So chop chop.
Well, I don't really know what to say. I'm still very interested that you just stopped at one point. Stopped being there.
Okay. And?
Well, why?
You chose differently. Why would I spend my time on people that do not want to work with me?
I don't remember me choosing anything.
Someone chose for you, and you let them. Big. Green.
Touché. And just, Kevin, you said 21 days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She kind of, like, in the ensuing silence between Barnack's questions, she looks around again, and her eyes, of course, fall to JJ. And she just looks over. You good?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, slightly surprised to find two of you company so soon, but you knew what it was we were trying to do here, and
And you did good.
thank you. It was a very interesting challenge, this tower.
Yes. She kind of looks over at Danos for a moment, or at Oberon for a moment. Right. Well, if that's all, shall we get down to it? It's fairly simple. And she gets ready to begin, explaining whatever she's come here to talk about. Unless somebody wants to interrupt and still have something to say that is, personal. Anything? Any outbursts? Just checking.
How's Myra looking right now? Like, has
Pissed.
this very pissed? Yeah.
Yeah, very pissed.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything.
Do we see that you're pissed?
Oh yeah, Myra's not hiding it.
So you got pissed when the clockmaker showed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if I may, why does our friend seem angry at you?
I think you'll need to ask her. It's not my secret to tell.
Myra?
She looks over at you as well, Myra. And just like her eyebrows are raised, she looks like an expectant school teacher.
Myra just kind of like points to the shoulder but doesn't say anything.
If you have something to say or ask, please do so.
Why?
Why what?
Why are people that use what you know and doing things like this?
Because mortal kind is greedy, and a lot of you can't control yourselves. You see something powerful and you have to break it, adapt it, use it, abuse it, and ruin it. For what it's worth, and I don't think it's worth much, I am sorry that happened to you. But I had no hand in it.
What is that, Myra? What's... We never actually asked you that.
I'll tell you after whatever she has to say is taken care of.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now, come, gather around. And she walks to the other side of the dinner table and then faces you, kind of expecting you to line up on the other side. Even Oberon walks up to have a better look at things. Do you all join, or Myra, do you stay further away?
I'll stay further away, but
Okay.
I will get closer.
Okay.
I join.
Yeah.
So, as you all come closer, and Myra keeps some distance, she waits for a moment longer to see if you'll overcome your reluctance, and then when you don't, she just kind of waves a hand, and a projection of images appears above the table, and you see it's essentially just a map layout of some part, you presume, of the tower, of a number of rooms. And after a moment, you do recognize a part of it, a long corridor into which you were initially teleported, which is connected, now you see, to a number of different chambers above it. And she begins to explain. Now, when Danos built this place, well, not the whole place, but this containment mechanism, Essentially what he did, and she kind of looks around the table. Oh, you're not going to get this. He made a machine that reverses entropy. However,
Barnack just nods because she said you're not gonna get this. And just agrees with her 100%.
However, it's not a perfect machine because the blueprint for how it reverses entropy is not correct. And it's a long story, but the point is this. The machine stands at the center of this chamber, and she points to like one central chamber on the map. And I have the schematic for you in a minute, but she points to this chamber. She says, there is a machine here in which we will eventually need to replace one component with the timepiece that you possess. That way, we can seal the breach. However, that means turning it off.
Turning what off?
The machine that is keeping that creature that you've seen and heard out.
Oh.
Yes. You can see the difficulty that we're facing.
So if we turn it off, it will be able to...
Yes.
I see. Mm-hmm.
However, with the sage's help, we can manage it as long as we're quick enough. Now, before we're able to get there, we'll have to clear the place of these things. And she waves her hand again, and beside the schematic you see kind of 3D flashes of the creatures that you faced, grotesque humanoid imitations that just don't seem right. They have blades for arms, or horrible claws and crystals growing out of places where they shouldn't be. And she gestures to it and says, there are a lot of these down there, but we can briefly overpower the device to eradicate them and then turn it off. So the first step in our plan will be for you to go here, and she points to an adjacent chamber to the central one, where the main power conduit needs to be reconnected. If you manage that, we'll be able to overload it, clear the area of the creatures, and then move into the central chamber. Now that part, I think you'll be able to manage with a little help. Your friend already has some ideas, and you see Oberon just briefly nodding, and like he's still stroking his chin, just kind of thinking as he looks at the plans again. But after that, you will need to take him inside and protect him while he replaces the item in the device with the pocket watch. Does that make sense so far?
JJ nods while Barnick waves his head.
She just kind of blinks once, twice. Where did I lose you?
Let's sit down and let's talk about this.
Okay.
And entropy. But that's the thing. We are a group, so as long as one of us understands, they will explain it to the rest of us. So JJ?
Right. All right.
Yeah.
I think it's relatively simple. We gotta go.
I
into
understood
one
killing
room.
things
Yeah,
and
we go into
protecting
one
this
room.
guy.
Yep. Pretty much it. We go into one room. We kill some shit. When shit is dead, we go into another room. Oberon takes the pocket watch, puts it into fancy machine, while we kill other shit that tries to kill Oberon. Pretty
Yep.
much it.
Exactly. And I turn to her and say, see? He's a better spokesman.
I'll just speak Barnack.
What's entropy?
She kind of thinks for a moment, and then just says, a really bad thing that you don't want to have happen.
But
Question.
if the tower's made to reverse entropy, and entropy is something bad,
Yes. You have understood the basic concept of the device. Well done.
Yeah, but it wasn't made good. That's the point, right?
Precisely. It is not perfect as it should be. For which we can't blame Danos, because he did not know any better. Regardless, it's now up to us to fix his mistake and close the rift.
Now,
She kind of says it at the same time as you and just stops. What?
well, I'm just wondering, once we replace this component, you said the creature that resides within will be set free.
During the process, yes. It will be able to spill forth, but your terminology is wrong. It is not contained within. It is on the other side of a door, which we are intending to close. But first, we have to open it fully.
And will it be able to pass through the door fully?
It will begin.
So it's bigger. Okay. Good to know.
Yes. While that door is open, it will be extremely dangerous. But the device you have, and she kind of, out of thin air, she plucks another cogwheel, like the ones that you've already placed within your device, and she hands it over to you, Jean-Jacques. While you have this, in a radius around this device, reality will remain constant and stable. You won't be
I have
safe.
a question.
You won't be safe, but you'll at least be able to fight back long enough while the upgrade is being made. You will only have to relinquish this the very last moment. What is your question?
Do you have more of those?
She kind of stops for a moment, raises an eyebrow, seems impressed, maybe? Maybe. That could be an emotion that you could read on her face right now. And she just points to the table, and where moments ago you were sure there was nothing, there are actually multiple timepieces laid out. But these have no components in them, they don't tick. They are empty, like the first one, like this one, when you first found it.
Okay. And they do not protect us from that reality bendy thingy mingy.
For mere seconds at best. But what they will do is reverse your personal time once. So if things go wrong, you have one chance to correct whatever mistake you made. Essentially what she's telling you is it's a one-time reset for not a specific amount of time, but it will take you back and let you try to do something differently.
While she's talking, JJ has pulled out the timepiece
Mm-hmm.
and will, open it up so that he can fit in the last cog.
Okay. Easily enough done. Kira, we have a lot of background noise from you, I think.
From Zoom.
Oh, but I'm not on Zoom even.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
it
Chansey,
has
it's you,
to-
sorry. Chansey.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
is
it's
it
just-
me?
Yeah, it's like... But, yeah, sorry.
Weird.
Um,
I'm just gonna rejoin the call real quick, see if that.
it's gone now. It
Okay.
just was for a moment. It was like someone is vacuuming, I think. It sounded like that.
Very weird.
Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, the timepiece. You complete it, and the arms on the timepiece begin to move and effectively just slot into the correct position, giving you the current time. And that's it.
Always thought this was going to happen a bit differently. But
As did I. But we need to adjust our plans as the situation demands it. Now,
And
what?
and when we're done with that, whatever it is, will the timepiece, the actual one I showed it to JJ, will that one stop working?
No, it will complete its job. It only needs to remain in the device for as long as it takes to close the rift, which will not be long.
Good.
Very well. So, the plan is simple, the execution is the hard part. But as I understand it, and she looks over to Oberon, you have some things to add. And Oberon just kind of... yes. I have discovered that in addition to the security forces that the tower commands, Danos actually created what he called a company. Effectively, another set of golems more powerful than the ones you faced to protect the tower from these incursions. That's the only reason that we're able to stand here today instead of it having been overrun years ago. I found 4 of them that I was able to repair. The other ones are still in service now, keeping the other power conduits intact. But I am able to give you control over these 4 golems. So you will have their aid, and you will be able to command them as you need them to during your assault. Other than that, of course, you will have my aid down there. But once I am working on the device, I will not be able to help you anymore.
Okay.
well, that is very good. Having golems more powerful than the ones we faced will help us greatly.
It will.
Oberon, do you know the number of creatures that are currently residing in the tower that we need to take care of?
Oberon thinks for a moment, and then beside him, Kiralos pops into existence. He looks at Kiralos, and Kiralos just says, 517.
Okay. Enough for each of us, then, I believe.
Oberon adds, most of them are being held back by the Emerald Company, but a sizable portion is concentrated around the main conduit, which you will have to clear out before doing your work. Now about that, and he turns to the map, and essentially that's the map that I've shown you, or that I've shown to you on Roll20. Now, in the main conduit chamber, you will have 3 different points. Effectively, you need to control all 3 points on the wall in order to reset it and get the connection running again. That means clear out the area and keep someone in place so that you can activate them at the same time. It's as simple as flipping a lever, but it needs to happen all at once. Otherwise, you will not be able to. Do you understand?
These 3 places being...
One on the left, one right next to the doorway across the way, and one next to the doorway on the right.
And just for GM question, these would be the yellow dots on the left and right?
No. Just in the main conduit chamber. He's not talking about the dots.
Okay.
The dots are explained below. It's just about which parts of the hallways the tower's defenders control.
Okay. Right. So if we were to fight our way straight down the middle as soon as we appear and hold the main conduit chamber, in theory, we would be able to achieve this.
If you could, but that is the chamber in which all of these creatures are concentrated, or many of them.
Yeah. Kevin, can you also show the map again?
It's in your handouts. It's up to you to open it. I can only show it to players once.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I didn't see it properly. Okay, and we get 4 golems. You said.
That's right.
See.
Okay, well, and the clockmaker just kind of like claps her hands. The images remain in place, both of the creatures kind of spiraling and then changing to different creatures every time, and of the map just remains in place over the table. Any questions right now?
Well, I had one about the creature that will be passing through this doorway.
Okay.
Do you have any idea of its capabilities or what we might expect in terms of assault?
It is unlike anything you have ever faced, and possibly will ever face again. But it will need to manifest something in the bubble of reality around you that you can interact with and that you can deal with. So most likely more creatures, possibly psychic assaults, possibly spell effects. But the exact nature of whatever it will launch at you is unknown to me. Regardless, you will not have to deal with its true form, which would be both impossible and it would destroy you instantaneously. But you will have to survive whatever it manages to throw at you within the confines of the reality around you.
And have you haven't told us, why are you helping us do this?
This is what I exist for. This?
To contain these things.
No. To fix the mistakes of the God's Fall. This is not the only problem that came from it. This is not the only thing that's gone wrong ever since. And someone needs to clean up, and that's me, or the people I work with.
Okay. Well, I do have more questions, if you may stay for a few more minutes.
I'll be here
But
longer.
they don't actually have to do anything with this tower.
Okay.
There was a person who said that you were their master.
Who?
Well, now they are called Mortimer, I believe.
You can see just instantly disgust on her face.
Yeah. That person... Ooh, what and why?
She kind of looks around the group for a moment and her eyes fall on Jean-Jacques a little longer than on the others. And she says, a failed apprentice. One who could not play by the rules. And not only chose differently as you did, but decided to abuse what I had given him.
Should we be worried about him?
Probably.
Okay. So he was innately bad, not innately good turned bad. He chose to be evil.
Concepts like that won't do you much good. He is greedy and he wants many things for which he is prepared to do many things. If you want to call that evil, then it is evil. But it's no different than you willing to sacrifice yourselves to close this hole in reality.
Well, I guess one problem after the other. Mortimer is not an immediate threat. Okay, good. And another thing was, should we be worried about Pax?
If you want to be.
Well, I mean, will the entity called Pax come after you and then probably indirectly come after us? And then I also look at Jean-Jacques. Or after someone, at least.
I doubt it.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Are we risking causing another God's fall here?
If you fail, possibly. But like I told you before, you're not the only ones who can deal with this. You're just the closest, and now the most convenient. It will just be a lot worse if it's not stopped now.
I guess then we should stop it.
It is a choice you still can make. If you want to walk away, you are now able to. I will not judge you for it. There's no point in that. You have some rest ahead of you.
Not.
Judgment from beings like yourself, I believe, is reserved for those who worship beings like yourselves.
Beings like me. What do you think I am, Barnack?
Well, if I remember correctly, Pax called you a demigod.
No.
Fair enough. I have no more questions. I believe I've asked everything I needed to know. Actually, I do have a question. Why isn't any of the higher beings dealing with things like these?
Because they can't. They no longer have that kind of influence on this world. For now, anyway.
I see.
They can still hear you. If that's what you're
I'm
worried
sure.
about.
I'm sure they can. Fine then. I personally don't want this evil thing coming out, and that is why I'm willing to do this.
And that's what I was counting on. Alright, well. Discuss amongst yourselves. Get some sleep. Think about if you really want to be here. And then in the morning, you know the plan. I'll be around a little longer because I need to talk to your friend over here. So if there's anything else, let me know. And she just beckons Oberon, and the two of them go to stand like on the other side of the chamber, near some bookcases, and begin to talk quietly. At this point, Patrick kind of leans forward in the chair that he was sitting on, and he goes, she said she assumed that we all knew who she was, but, who is that?
Oh, right. I think that's a bit hard to explain, actually. She is a godlike entity. Obviously not a demigod as we thought, so... but nevertheless, a godlike entity that has been depositing these things. I kind of show him the pocket watch.
Okay.
In the world to seek those worthy of wielding a fraction of her power. And her goal is restoring the balance in the world and bringing back order that was lost during the God's fall.
That sounds pretty good. I like that. Okay.
I guess it could depend on your point of view, but I like it too.
And there's no walking away from this, is there? I mean, she said we could, but we can't really, can we?
I think we can.
But I also think we can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can. Doesn't seem right, does it?
Well,
I
doesn't
don't
seem
think
right.
we should.
Yeah, I agree with Tani. I don't think we should, but I think we can if we want to.
Are we really gonna argue semantics? Well, also
Hey,
very
she
fair
used
points on the both of you.
used
You guys.
entropy, so like,
Yeah.
let me have something.
All right. Well, I'm knackered, so I'm going to sleep.
Before you do, I had a real quick question. I know a little bit of, I believe I know a little bit of your art or profession.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could do something for me before you go to sleep. And then you take out, alright, I don't unsheathe my sword, I just unclasp it from my belt. And it's this very long, beautiful, like, saber.
Yeah.
It has, like, gold inlaid and silver filigree on the scabbard. This is a blade that I'm very fond of. But it's lost its... I believe it once had magical properties, but it no longer does. Would you be able to perhaps infuse it with some magic for tomorrow? I feel like the creatures we'll be fighting might not be harmed by normal means. And I would appreciate having this at my disposal.
I can have a look at it.
Mm.
Can't make any
Nice.
promises, though. It's a
Yeah,
little fuzzy.
that's perfectly fine. I'm more than happy with an attempt.
Tani, where did Jean-Jacques get that blade? I've been meaning to ask. He's different. Does he seem different to you?
Mm-hmm.
He never fought with a blade, he would just run away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd fight from the distance. This
Yeah,
is
from
thunder
a
thing.
very long distance, yeah.
Hey, you!
Oh, he would
You
know
run it
best.
once and die. Like,
Well, Jean-Jacques, where did you get that blade? What is that blade?
you really don't know, do you?
We don't. It's not just me. We don't. None of us do.
That's curious indeed. I got it from the wastelands to the north. Spent a number of years exploring over there and picked it up from a ruin where I discovered some other things, like how to use it in the way that I do. I thought I'd told you all this many times before, and especially
No.
while we were on the ship together. It's
No, Jean-Jacques, you, for the past several time, because I don't know what time it is, for the past several whatevers, you've been different and you weren't the same person we know. So what you're remembering doesn't stand with what we are remembering.
Why don't you be back 1 sec?
You're still Jean-Jacques, right? You're not like what you did with Oberon. You don't have another ring that you
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
I really want to insight check that.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
By keeping all rings so we don't see them.
All the rings. The handful of rings.
So, Jean-Jacques, you've never fought with a sword before, just so you know.
Well, even if what I'm suspecting might have happened, that is not entirely true. As part of my education, it's mandatory for fighting men and women of North Dyke to go through weapons training. It's law. I'm not sure of this by any means, but I believe something's strange.
Immediately. Yeah, I rolled a 6 for the first one. For my plus my +8 would have been a 14. And I rolled another 6.
Oh wow, unlucky.
God damn it.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to
I was here when you were inside checking.
It's
so.
an insight. Yeah, it was an
About
insight check
what?
on whether Jean-Jacques was lying about not having any other magical rings that supplant his personality, and then whether or not, I guess, he's sure of what exactly happened.
If you could just roll a persuasion check real quick.
Yeah. With my new clockmaker dice. Oh wow. Huh. 26 for a
Nice.
natural 20.
God, fuck.
He is very, very truthful, but he's also literally not deceiving you. Like, he just needed to pass your roll on the insight to make sure that you believed him. Otherwise, he was just stumbling enough for you to disbelieve him. So, yeah, seemed good.
Jean-Jacques, I actually do want to take a ring from you. And, well, maybe you should have it. I think Hani has the other one. The platinum ring for warding bond. I mean, I hope you still have it.
No, it's just, is it still with me? Because I remember
I have 2 of them. Well, 3 in total. I always wear one, and then I think I gave you one and Tani one.
Yeah, I just feel like we maybe changed, but yeah, okay, yeah.
Whoever wants to give me theirs, so I have one.
Well, regardless of who has it, you get it back. So Tani has one, you have 2, and that's where we're at. Okay.
I believe that when I went through the barrier or the magical force in the engine room, something happened. I don't know enough of the theory about what could have happened to properly explain it. I intend to find out, but I have a feeling that I'm not the same Jean-Jacques that you know. Not entirely.
Roll a history check.
Okay.
While you guys respond.
You're not a Jean-Jacques from the future? Like what
14?
Pax showed us?
Oh. No. Well, let me see what I get, and then Kevin can say how much of this I actually know. 13.
Okay. I'm just gonna write you something. Keep talking.
Okay. No, I don't believe it's the same thing. I remember that. Me being the Wizard King and...
What do you mean? What future?
Oh shit, I forgot that too. Sorry.
Right.
Well, I'll just ask, you're not a Jean-Jacques from the future? Just that.
It's all very fuzzy to me. I think multiple versions of
Personalities?
myself. No.
Voices in your head?
No. Like, you know how as you travel across, is it called the Middle Sea? the central part
The
around
Mid-Sea.
Postizia?
The Mid-Sea.
The Mid-Sea. You know how as you travel around the Mid-Sea, Barnack, and then you go from like North Dyke to, near Ulthas, and then you hear the same sea shanty that you know from back home, but it's just slightly different. Like, it's the same tune, but the words are a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. So I believe
Sea
that...
shanties.
No, Barnack. Focus, for fuck's sake. I believe that there were multiple versions of myself that went into the engine room and went into the magical force, and we all
And-
converged in one afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like all the sea shanties at one. It's very fuzzy.
You're more Jean-Jacques in one. Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
then I'll just have a simple question. How do you fight from now on?
I fought with blade and magic.
Storm magic.
Not just storm magic, no.
Okay. Okay. So we have a different soldier on our team now. Good. That's gonna make planning all the more difficult. Perfect.
Well, just think of it this way. I'm more like Turnock used to be, with a lot of magic at my disposal as well.
Okay.
Not quite as
Good
good
to
as Turnock in fighting, but I can augment myself with magic quite a bit.
Good to know. Very good to know.
It's also very weird to speak in this accent sometimes. I know you guys are more familiar with it, but
Which one do you usually use? All of you. Which one would you use?
that's a difficult question. I'm more used to talking like you, for example. I'm used to talking in this accent because that's sort of what I've been using for many, many years. But I can also talk like this if you prefer. I understand if it's a bit confusing. It's part of my education to be able to adapt.
Nope. I'm quite fine with you using anything you want. Yeah, I'm gonna need a drink after this one. More
I do
Jean-Jacques.
really. It's still one Jean-Jacques. It's just slightly different.
More Jean-Jacques in one Jean-Jacques.
Yes, I guess.
After Jean-Jacques and Meyer had that conversation about not trusting each other, I just kind of jump in and go, "Another reason not to trust you," and kind of give a slight smile to Jean-Jacques.
He kind of smiles back like fair point.
So JJ, when you're saying that when you come up with all those memories that we don't, all the things you did in the past, so that means that there's another Barnack around, and your other versions of
Sounds horrifying.
Barnack
Jean-Jacques
immediately just
know
looks
that
over his
version?
shoulder to make sure that there's not another Barnack there.
You're not just inventing them? Those memories are real?
They
Somewhere?
are as real to me as you are in front of me right now. As I said, I don't know enough about the theory yet. I need to go back to Postizia and the university and read a lot. But I have very vague memories of some basic lessons that I had in my early life that suggested that there are theories of multiple timelines. I don't really understand it myself. Is this okay, Kevin? I'm kind of spitballing right now. I
Sure,
know, but
there would definitely be theories about that.
yeah, okay.
Just not say anything about the correctness of them. So
Yeah. It's
Just If you were to guess, how many JJs converged into one?
It's not as simple as saying converge, but I think at one point, 4,
4.
maybe.
Way too many JJs.
So 4 JJs.
Yes, but there's only one now.
Should we call you JJ, JJ, JJ,
No,
JJ?
no, stop. Fuck's sake, no. No.
Okay.
Maybe J. That would be fine. It gives him like a Cheshire smile.
Yeah, I walked into that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, now that we're through with your sword thing, yeah, Patrick, probably it would be best if you could.
You go to turn towards him. He's already wandered off with the sword.
Yeah.
And is studying.
You
it.
could. Yeah. Good. Okay. Okay, that's good. So, are we going to sleep or are we going to plan for tomorrow?
I think
We
some
should
planning
probably
would do as
plan.
well. Yeah. Is the clockmaker still there, Kevin?
Yeah, they're still conversing on the other side of the room.
All right. JJ will try and get their attention just enough so that they understand that he would like a word with them if they have a moment when they're done.
You get a very brief look, and that's all. No acknowledgement.
Kind of seeing JJ being like polite about it. Myra's not going to be. Is gonna go over to Oberon and just kind of like tap him on the shoulder and hand him the platinum ring and be like, "For tomorrow."
Fascinating. Very simple. Slides it onto his hand, where you see he has already adorned himself with several other rings that used to belong to Danos.
You found the wizard stash, the motherfucker.
Anything else?
Okay. I'll basically follow Myra and just ask Oberon. So, just so we're clear, all of us tomorrow are going to fight those things and then keep you alive while you do whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you could also help us with? Any weapons, potions, something Danos had?
I've not had much time to explore other parts of the tower, so I will have a look, and I will bring whatever I can when you awaken.
Good. Thank you. Good. I don't like going into this blind.
Yes, well, I was discussing something with someone much more intelligent, so if you don't mind.
And
Good.
Jean-Jacques wasn't around.
Goodbye. And he just waits for you to leave before he turns back to the clockmaker.
I'll turn around here. Yeah, I'll turn around.
Oh, that was hard.
Oh, that was good.
What a fucking douchebag!
I'm not using Morning Bond tomorrow. We're all gonna die in this tower because he wanted to be a dick.
And he turns back, and in a low voice, in a language that you don't understand anyway, he goes back to speaking with the clockmaker.
I'll come back to Jean-Jacques Tani and say, well, he said that we do not need to protect him tomorrow at all. We can just fight on our own. He's also an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely an asshole. But he's a very powerful asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
He can take a lot of D.
Okay.
It is here.
So is there anything else, any more planning you guys want to do here?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Let's actually do strategic planning.
Well,
I wanted to. I
Just
wanted
checking.
to.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
So the images are still there?
The images
that they
are still
conjured
there.
up?
Very much like it's like a very, very clear hologram, just hovering
Okay.
over the table, accessible for
And
you.
what they said essentially is we need to take control of the main conduit room, press some buttons,
Yeah.
and then we'll have to invade the containment chamber afterwards in order to
Yes.
actually place the device, right?
That's
So
right.
first it's the main chamber. We all fight together, battle royale style, and then go into the containment chamber where we need to protect Oberon from the
Yeah.
manifestation. Okay.
Yeah, and you
So
start
cool.
all the way at the bottom, basically in the corridor where you initially incorrectly
Yeah,
teleported to.
where the sigil is, right?
Yes,
Or
and you
sigil.
can make your way up.
Yeah. Foyer. So JG kind of like motions for everybody to come next to the image. He says, so this is where we come in, and like points at the sigil. I think that our best chance at victory is if we storm the main conduit chamber through the middle corridor, set up a perimeter, and try and secure the other three entrances, and essentially use our golems as sort of barricades that the enemies would slam into, while the rest of us will try and pick them off as that happens. The map seems to suggest that we would meet some resistance as soon as we appear, but that the corridors to the right and left are already controlled by friendly forces. So in theory, if we secure the middle corridor, set up a perimeter around it as we try and make our way to the other three entrances, we would be protected from the back. There would be no risk of assault from there, in theory. Very important thing about this plan is that our ranger doesn't go in to fight shoulder to shoulder with the dude with the battle axe.
Yeah. Um, that is very true. But last time someone was, yeah, doesn't matter.
I know.
I could, yeah.
We
I
have
also have
to.
an idea.
That
Myra,
is.
do can you do one of those spells of yours that protect us all?
As long as you stay within a certain range when it's cast, and depends on what it is.
Yeah. So basically, even though it says on this map that both left and right side are safe, if something changed, we should probably immediately head north. So I was thinking, when we get there, you give us that defense, and we just let the newly bladerific Jean-Jacques and Patrick and everyone that likes fighting in close combat, they just plow through the enemies and we rush for the main conduit. And then could we get the golems there, or would they have to come with us from below?
I think they would have to come with us from below.
Okay.
But they should be a much better battering ram, I assume, to simply take control over a portion of the main conduit room at least.
Yeah. Okay.
I can make myself very bladerific, as you put it, Barnack, where I would be very fast and very hard to hit. And they could achieve more in a single move than
Could you
normally.
do that for more of us?
I can only do it for one person at a time.
Let's see. Okay.
Or I could also turn myself or another person invisible for a decent amount of time and still be able to do everything that you normally do, or that I normally do. That's at least what I would start with.
By the way,
I would-
just to interrupt, but I would recommend you make some notes of the plans that you actually want to make, because, of course, for next week, it might fade, so it'll be good to have
You
some
think
notes.
we wouldn't remember
No.
the
No.
strategy we
Not
make?
even a little bit.
You're very
No.
right about that. Yeah.
So,
We should also talk about who's going to hit those switches. It
Yeah.
should probably be people who are a little bit better at quick reactions.
Are the switches just switching them or something, or are they
They-
buttons?
They were described to you as levers.
It's levers.
I'm just saying, I'm not very quick reactionary most of the time.
I've got good reactions myself, but yeah, I could grab one probably.
I think that Tani, you, Barnick, and myself can grab the switches, because we can, if I make myself very fast, Tani and I can move very quickly to the ones that are further away, and then you could position yourself next to one that we take control of immediately as we enter the room.
Yeah.
And then Myra, you can protect Barnack.
So, I was thinking about this a minute, but this is purely meta knowledge, but essentially, to line them all up, you would have to ready your action while the others get ready, and then the last one can flip it at once. So that's kind of the challenge, right? Putting yourself in a position where you can be standing still for a round and not go down.
Yeah. Well,
So
let's
then
hope
I think
that everyone rolls super great initiative. We all go immediately one after the other, and we just do it without
Yep.
losing anything.
That will definitely happen. I never roll
Mhm.
well, so.
Yeah, not me with the -1 initiative.
Yeah. Okay. That would work, I believe. Tani, Jean-Jacques, and myself get the switches. Myra, you're on guard duty. Patrick and Napoleon can take the brunt of the attack. Those 4 golems can... I don't know what they can do. And Oberon will be with us as well, so he will probably be able to deal with things in his own way.
What are we talking about? And you see Felix fly down and land on the dinner table, and just kind of sits down with this, like, almost in some food, and then he kind of switches, and he looks around. What's going on, guys? Sorry, got a little sleepy, but what are you doing?
Strategizing.
Oh,
Planning a trip tomorrow.
Oh, where to?
Well, to the...
Worst place in the tower?
Oh, the kennels?
Worse.
currently worst place in the tower.
Okay. Scary. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just curious. But continue. And he just kind of sits there and, like, cleans himself and listens.
So cute. Does he accept scritches? JJ will scritch him.
Like, just kind of like, sure. But he's very, like, high and mighty about it. Like, okay, you are allowed to.
Yeah. So as we enter, then our first objective is to secure the closest switch to the south entrance. Barnack stays next to it, doing his thing, slaying.
And waiting for 2 other switches to be ready.
Yes, we then move to the next closest one, and then finally the furthest one away.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be hard to come up with anything a lot more solid without seeing what exactly we'll be facing, but from memory serves, the creatures were quite fast and could attack multiple times.
As
The
you say
smaller
this,
ones, yes.
the map image suddenly shifts. There's like a bit of static, almost like an old TV, and then you get like a sort of flickering view, and you realize that there's a light in the chamber, but it's kind of inconsistent. And you get a live view of the chamber, and you see like in the center there's this like massive kind of device on the ground, and then there are 2 metal like literal pipes that come out of the ground and lead up what you think is towards the containment chamber, and you see dozens and dozens of these creatures, the smaller ones with the horrible crystal growths, intermingled with the slightly larger ones with that were very dangerous, that can attack like 6 times. And in the corner, and then one more to the right, you see 2 looming shapes that don't fully fit within the view inside the chamber, that just stand still, but as you watch you can slowly see them kind of growing and getting smaller, as if they're breathing very slowly and laboriously.
Them big motherfuckers is what I'm worried about.
I hate all of it.
So I will try and speak to Oberon and see if he knows a spell that I think would be very useful tomorrow, that I don't know right now, but I've heard of. If he can teach me it, it would be very useful. I just need to be the opening salvo of our entrance so that I don't accidentally hurt any of you. But otherwise, I think having the golems engage the very big uns and then the slightly big uns while we try and clear the smaller ones is probably going to be the best course of action.
Unless the big ones destroy the golems in a second or 2.
Yes, well, then we're fucked either way, right?
Yeah.
But with you peppering them with arrows, I think the medium ones won't survive for too long. I can also, of course, do the same.
I need some arrows that are stronger. I'll go find Patrick. I'll be back in a second. And I'll actually go find Patrick.
So you head off. The 3 of you are left by the table. Anything else you want to go through right now?
I feel like we're gonna die.
Don't do that, Felix says.
Do you have, I know you said it sort of depends, but do you have protective magic that you could bring tomorrow, Myra? Something that could help us all, perhaps? Especially something against those psychic attacks, I feel like might be very useful.
Damn it, I didn't want to click it in chat, but whatever.
All good.
Yeah, beacon would be nice, but that's clutch because it's like just 1 minute. And we all know, well, we don't have any more diamonds, do we?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, so, okay. Anyway, then, might not need to save that spell slot.
Yeah.
Maybe Danos has some?
Well, I was thinking spirit guardians, at least to give us more
Hmm.
protection.
I think Bless would probably clutch as well.
Yeah.
It's all concentration, though, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Always the challenge with clerics is that your best stuff is all concentration. Unless you can bring Firestorm, that would be nice.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, so while you look, Barnack, you head out of the chamber. Felix actually flies up and sits on your shoulder, or at least, if you allow him.
Yeah.
And just kind of sits there, and you hear, you can feel the slight vibration. He's not super happy or anything, he's just purring gently next to your ear as you go to find Patrick, who is currently...
I'll scratch his ear a bit.
Okay. Patrick just has some of his tools laid out on the desk in his chamber, and is just studying the blade and trying to, maybe figure out something of his own design. But he looks up when you come in, and he nods at you.
Say, Patrick, did you know how to make common arrows be a bit more beefy or something? Maybe magical?
Well, you could get them enchanted, or
could
apply.
You do that?
No, not on such short notice.
Yeah.
You could also apply a particular kind of oil, but I don't have any with me. But perhaps the master of the tower could provide some. I'm sorry.
No,
What I'm
that's
doing
fine.
for Jean-Jacques is the extent of what I can possibly do to aid someone else, I think. It's a bit difficult to remember. I'm working off of instinct. But yes, I do apologize.
That is fine. Okay. Well, thank you. The oil was my second idea. Thank you. Yeah.
Ask Oberon. He might be able to help you.
Yeah. Jean-Jacques will ask Oberon.
Very well. He looks a bit puzzled that he didn't really catch the nature of your exchange with him.
Well, good luck. And yeah, we're making a plan tomorrow. Today for tomorrow. So when you're done, if you don't want to sleep, you can join us, and then we'll fill you in.
Right. Well, I will take some time, but please inform me in the morning if you're able. I will do whatever you think is best.
Yeah. Oh, right. You're almost part of the Ashen Hearts now. Huh.
I am. Okay.
Kinda.
Great. I'm a team player, so that's great.
And I'll just leave to Jean-Jacques.
Okay. As he was leaving the conversation, Jean-Jacques was approaching because he has this look on his face he just remembered something. He's like, Barnack, don't you have poison from that spider queen that we killed back in Pasticia? That stuff was pretty powerful, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do.
Couldn't you coat some of your arrows with that?
I could, if I remember correctly. I could do about, I think, was it 10 arrows per sack of poison? Let me check. I have half full vial of spider poison and 2 matriarch mandible poison sacks.
So I can help make your arrows stronger. It's just that if I do that, then I won't be able to make myself super fast or invisible, which is fine for the opening. We could do my thing where I light your arrows in fire. Then I can do other things, and then as things progress,
I think you
would
should
change.
wait with those fire arrows.
Okay.
At least until we know what we're up against with those big things.
Right. I defer to you here. You know battle tactics very well.
Poison might be very good.
And there was no sarcasm in that. JJ actually respects Barnack's battle prowess.
I have 1 vial of spider drake poison as well.
That was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Little bit.
Yeah. I keep most of poisons on me.
We
Question.
need to get you like a poisoner's kit when we
Yeah.
get to Postizia. Write that down somewhere. Like we need to get you a poisoner's kit.
Question. Would I be able to do anything with Sundrop, as in, like, apply it to an arrow?
That would require study and experimentation to
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah. Well,
Note to self.
note to self: create
Yeah.
first a criminal. Well, first kill the Rose, get the criminal background for myself, get all the Sundrops that I need, and then export arrows.
Okay. Well, write that all down. Make sure that you have your notes.
Yeah.
But in the
Do you
meantime,
mention the sun drop in conversation with JJ? Like, do
Yeah,
you
I said it. I said it on
Yeah.
out loud.
And so maybe we just made our way back to the group, unless you wanted to
Yeah.
bring up something, Kevin. So I wanted to.
no, you can have a conversation first.
Okay, so I just say, it is good that you bring that up. I have some on myself, and I believe that we all have at least one. I don't know. Do you, Myra, have any? I don't think, Myra, you have any sun drop on you, do you?
No, but you guys all had multiple leaves that you
Yeah.
secured from the.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as we know, you could just like
You crush it and
eat
eat
one
it.
of them.
Yeah, you crush
Yeah,
and
and
eat.
you
Yeah.
get super doped up like on crack and can do something.
Yeah, it's magic crack basically. It's
Yeah,
very
magic crack.
dangerous but very potent.
So he like pulls 2 out because I think I have 4.
Mhm.
I really need to sort my inventory out between the 2 sheets because I keep having to open this one. Sandrop, yeah, I have 4, so I pull 2 out and I give 2 to Myra.
Okay, so
What
Myra-
are these?
Hmm?
What are these?
Drugs.
So he hands you 2 of these, like it's like water lilies, like as flat and wide as a water lily leaf, but completely pure white and like almost as thin as like a rose leaf. It's very delicate. It looks a bit gray rather than white, just because it's been in the pouch and it's been away from the flower that spawned it for a while. But yeah, it's Sundrop. You've seen a glimpse of these things sometimes growing in like alleyways in Postizia, here and there.
Yeah, so they are essentially drugs, as Barnek said. If you crush one and eat it, it will infuse you with power for a small period of time, as far as we were able to observe, and grant you some magical ability. I think we should just have it on our persons as a last resort. Like a Hail Night Mother, if you know what I mean.
A voice from behind you, Jean-Jacques, that kind of snuck up on you, says, you should be careful with those down there. And the clockmaker is standing like right behind you.
Probably jumps a little bit. Like he controls it, but just a little bit. Is it particularly dangerous to use them down there?
The weave is not properly maintained in that place. It's the nature of the crack. So if you release raw magic into yourself, there is no guiding principle for what it should do. You will effectively guide it only with your intent. So if you're in a particularly dangerous situation and your intent is particularly chaotic, there's no telling what you might cause to happen. It could be very good or very bad.
Right. So the very, very last resort then, I think.
It's up to you. You wanted to talk to me?
Yeah, if I could have a moment for
Okay.
a private conversation.
Okay. The rest of you can go away.
JJ was starting to move away, and then he's like, turns back and like, stays there, just standing next to her.
She kind of like seems to realize something. She goes, "Right, that's convention. Bye." And she heads over to walk with you instead.
Yeah.
I
So
just
since
make a face. Bay.
Felix on your shoulder mimics as well. Bye. So there's just two sassy people.
That's right, Felix.
Yeah, so he just as soon as they're away, he turns to her and says, "I was just wondering, will I have the benefits of your patronage up until the moment where I hand over the timepiece to Oberon?"
Yes.
Right. Should I take one of the other ones as well for the
She looks over
effect that
and
you spoke to them?
there's 6 of them there, but there's 7 of you in total.
Right. Okay.
So she just kind of looks over. You could, but no, I don't think you should.
I agree.
And it will still be your piece after this completes. So don't forget it. She just kind of like looks at you very severely as if you would.
Yeah. He just kind of gives her like an acquiescing nod, like, yes, I won't forget it. Like, of course I wouldn't, but I won't. All right. That is a comforting thought.
If you say so. I need to be going. I think we've covered everything we can here.
Yes. Before you do, if I may just... Do you know what happened to me in that engine room?
Fairly simple. Multiple converging personalities imprinted on you and left behind marks because you stepped into a place where you don't belong.
You hear Barnack's voice converging. He said so.
Right.
You should be fine. I can reverse it if you wish, but you seem to be quite comfortable.
Yes, I think this is better.
If you say so. Just remember to separate this reality from whatever you remember.
I will.
Okay. Great. Then I wish you good luck. And she looks around the room. She looks over at the group. You have faith in them? You have faith in them?
He also looks at them. Yes. More than in anything else.
Great. Glad to hear it. I will hopefully talk to you after you succeed. Good luck.
Thank you.
She just walks back to the teleporter to leave the chamber in a very normal fashion, not popping out of existence or anything like that.
So cool.
Somebody wanted to talk to Oberon in the meantime, right? So you would have probably had an opportunity to do that while Jean-Jacques spoke to...
I wanted to send Jean-Jacques to talk to
Okay.
Oberon.
So in that case, Oberon goes to join the Clockmaker to leave. So if you want to catch him, you'll either have to send Jean-Jacques quickly or do it yourself.
Oh, Oberon, do you have any oils for arrows?
Diamonds.
And diamonds for magic?
He kind of does this to the Clockmaker, and then turns to all of you, heads over to the table, and he very quickly incants something, and you see a scroll appear on the desk with a pencil next to it. He holds up the pencil. Write down your shopping list before you go to bed, and I will see what I can do. Anything not on this list, and it will not look for it. Understood?
Yeah.
He just and he very dramatically drops the pencil ugh, and then steps away and goes back to the clock.
At the moment he steps
As
away,
he turns... Sorry.
Go.
I was going to say, as he turns, JJ is there. It's like...
Okay. And Barnack?
Yeah, I'll take the pencil and just write down less ego. Is the first thing.
Okay.
He ain't going to find that.
Okay.
Lose the attitude.
So yeah, he leaves with the clockmaker.
Well, JJ was there to like
Oh, okay.
address him briefly. Yeah, it's like Oberon. I was wondering, do you perhaps have in your spell book or know a particular spell? I believe it's called Fireball. I would like to learn it if you can spare the time.
It's very uncivilized, but I'll have a look and see what I can provide to you.
Thank you.
I believe that there will be several spells that I can provide, so keep an eye out and be ready to copy them in the morning. I'll make sure you have the proper ink and parchments.
Much obliged.
And with a much more respectful nod to JJ, he turns away again and leaves the room with the clockmaker.
To douchebag.
Yeah,
Just
I fucking hate them. Would have rather had what's his face? Whose name I can't
Basil?
remember anyone. No, the original owner.
Oh,
Crazy.
Danos.
Danos.
Yeah, Danos, I feel like would have been better.
Maybe. In
I
any
will add
case.
the 300 gold piece worth of diamonds.
Okay, so if you guys can write all of your requests in the main channel on Discord, please, then we'll have that for next week. You don't have to do it now. You can also add stuff to it. Over the course of the week, we'll say the final day to add anything will be Friday. So make sure to get your requests in by then for anything, even if, tiny things like, hey, I need, I don't know, a new staff or whatever to punch or to hit stuff with, then put it on the list and we'll see if anything appears for you.
Now that the clockmaker and Oberon left, I'll move over to Barnack. You want to know what this is on my shoulder? How I got it?
Yeah, that probably be good.
JJ, can I have my notes back?
JJ, who was like, as they left, was just already like pulling them out to like go through them. He's like, oh yeah, of course.
You can have it back in a minute.
Thank you.
Felix begins to fly and inspect your shoulder where he can, not from super close. It's just kind of flying around your shoulder and having a look.
But where to begin? So my freelancer group was sent to go to, where's the person's name? The prison.
Orisi.
Yeah, Orisi. And while there, we were ambushed in the night. And our group split and experimented on. 2 of us made it out. 1 died trying to escape. I don't know what happened to the others. I have now this as how would I describe it? A terrible scar of what happened there.
Do you did you try to heal it?
I want to get rid of it. I don't know how. It's part of me now.
Mara, may I just take a closer look? On the off chance that I can see something? Yeah. So I'd like to examine the sort of circuitry, I guess, if I remember right, what it was. But I'd like to use magic to do it. Or not magic, like identify or something, because I no longer have that anyway. But could I do an arcana sort of investigation?
I would say yes, but the problem is that regardless of how you investigate it, you don't have proficiency. This would be an additional skill, which would be arcane technology,
Right.
as
Right.
an
Okay.
insight. So regardless of how you investigate it with either actual investigation or arcana, like we can definitely take that into account. But if you want to roll, or if you will roll, then is just straight up intelligence roll to
Okay.
investigate it.
Yeah. I'll try.
Okay.
7.
7. Well, so you Myra, I don't know like how your clothes exactly fall, but you have to kind of work a little bit to uncover the shoulder. Make
Yeah,
sure
I
that
probably removed at least the armor.
right. So
Okay.
the armor to the side, and then the shoulders revealed, and there are like kind of metal lines that already run a little bit up the neck, and then they converge on this metal construction that is embedded in Myra's flesh on the shoulder. And it almost looks like there's an opening for something to be put into it. And that opening is cube shaped. And seems pretty much as large as it could receive one of the data cubes that you guys have gathered over time. Beyond that, though, like there are multiple lines that just run away, almost like circuit, like boards on a circuit board or lines on a circuit board, but they seem to integrate with her veins underneath the surface after a moment. Like they kind of, are really a part of her.
Yeah, this is sort of like a combination of flesh and
Yeah,
machinery,
and it
right?
looks
like
and it looks gruesome. Like it's not unhealed or rotten or anything. It looks so severely unnatural in a way that you have no idea how this even came to be, but it's a forced mixture of two things that are very, very fundamentally almost different from one another. Technology.
Does it
and
remind
biology.
me at all of what we saw when Appy, or rather Mortimer, brought in those minions of his to threaten us?
Make a history check to see how well you remember what you saw.
It's 17.
The similarities are there, but this is like those were almost like cyborgs, you could say. According to our understanding, of course, in universe, it's not quite that. But they had like huge portions of their body, or even whole body parts, replaced with clockwork machinery. In Myra's case, the fusion is more diverse.
More like the wolf, maybe?
Very much like the wolf.
Okay.
The wolf?
Yeah. Do you remember the wolf that didn't attack us, but tracked us down in Lord Storm's house?
The
That
dog.
also
Yeah,
had
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, when the clock piece started working again.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what you find. But as far as insights go, beyond the connection to the cubes, which is apparent immediately, and like connection is very tenuous. It seems, to us it would be like having a USB port on your shoulder, but larger and less defined. But beyond that, you can't make heads or tails of it. You have no insights into how they managed it, into how this functions, or why Myra's body is not rejecting it. Like none of it makes sense. It is effectively a part of her, and it, even looking at it, there's a thought in the back of anyone's mind who looks at it that it is her. Like it is her body. Like even the metal is just there. It belongs there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Myra. I don't fully understand it. But I have seen something like it before. Or rather, we all have. It was done to this wolf back in Pastitia that was tracking us down. So I think that whoever did that to you didn't stop. And is likely still in operation, which means they can be found.
Jancy, I sent you a message on Discord. Sorry, it just has to happen.
Ooh. I don't know if this is gonna be good or bad. Myra visibly looks more upset. A wolf?
Yes,
I
it
remember.
was a very large one.
I remember a wolf. While we were still there. Vague. I truly don't know everything that happened there. And the one person who was there, I pretty sure would refuse to talk to any of you.
Who is it?
One of the other surviving members of the Shattered Stars. One of my closer friends in them. But they've been in hiding since we escaped.
Okay. Well, after this, if you want to pursue that and learn more about whatever that is, we could do that.
I would like more answers.
I do think this might tie into our task for Elena as well. I have an inkling that this conspiracy might be connected somehow. The experimentation, the playing around with forces unknown. It could fit in quite nicely, but it's the government, so it could be an entirely different conspiracy altogether.
Kind of like nods to JJ.
Well, it seems like while the task tomorrow is going to be monumental, it's only the beginning in a lot of ways.
Hope we don't die then.
There is no dying tomorrow. We did that enough on this island.
I do feel like that could be our motto, you know, the Ashen Hearts. Let's hope we don't die.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, let's hope we don't die, kinda. I think everyone hopes for that.
Right, but not many people throw themselves headfirst into the types of situations we do, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Everyone goes into unknown tunnels and portals.
That
Like
reminds me,
we've done.
we do have a portal to go through.
We do.
Okay, well, all in due time.
Hmm.
So we're ready for tomorrow?
Not at all, but
Nope.
Yeah. Exactly what I wanted to hear. Are we ready for tomorrow, guys? Don't think like that.
Yes,
Are
Sludge
we...
King.
Yeah, we are. Of course we are ready for tomorrow. We have
Yes.
4 golems.
Ador?
We have
Sure.
Oberon. The
I
prick.
don't know if that makes me more comfortable.
Yeah, he's a prick, but he's a strong prick. We have Patrick. We have Napoleon, and there are 4 of
Now,
us.
And
Napoleon,
me,
I
Felix
trust
says.
for my life.
Felix, will you be joining us? In we're going to go fight.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I need to be with you.
See,
Fair
I
enough.
trust Felix and Napoleon with my life down there. And, like, you guys, but I don't
See?
trust anyone else.
Mostly them.
But mostly them.
Mostly them. You guys, but mostly them.
It goes Napoleon, Felix, then Napoleon again, and then you guys.
Fair enough, though.
Then the enemies, and then Oberon.
Yes.
And then Jean-Jacques.
Fuck off.
Okay.
I'll give
Yeah.
I'll give Jean-Jacques the 1 page of notes back. So he can read them on his own time.
Okay. So, whether you stay up a little longer chatting a little bit, or reading even, or eating food,
I'll put poison on the arrows. Well, before bed.
good. So make sure that you check how many arrows you want to poison, and if you're not sure, to write to me about the ones that you're not sure about, that we have that all arranged for next week. But in the meantime, each of you find your way to rest, to bed, over the course of the next, let's say, 30 minutes or so. And Barnack, you have a very attached cat, or flying cat actually, staying with you. So he just kind of curls up with you. You can hear him purring, and as he falls asleep, he even says, "I'm glad you didn't really die," and then just falls asleep with you. And all of you drift off to rest. Some fitful, perhaps, others just gone completely. But with all your preparations made as best as you can, you get ready for the next morning, when you will face possibly the greatest dangers of your lives, and try to save not just this tower, but Bostizia and possibly the world. And that's where we'll pick it up next time.
Nice.
Well done, you guys. Nobody punched the clockmaker or tried to, so
I
that's
so wanted to.
my compliments. But yeah, that was fun. I hope you guys also had fun, and
Very much so.
cool. We'll be back next week as you go and try to figure this stuff out without dying. So that'll come then. All right. In the meantime, Simon and also Chris Roberts, you were here. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys so much, and anyone else who's watching, remember to follow, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, and like our videos there. And we will see you next week for episode 29 of Tales of Edeah. In the meantime, have a nice week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.